Hey again guys, so welcome to, I think this is the fourth episode of Question Time. Today's question is one that I've wanted to ask so many people, like a huge amount of people before, and that is, how do you deal with haters? And that's what I'm now going to try and answer. Luckily, since I've started doing videos on YouTube, I haven't received any hate. That is not a cue for anybody to start hating on me in the comment section. Um, but I guess I'm kind of asking for that doing this video. Basically, the way I've dealt with bullies and haters in my life is ignorance, is ignoring it, and I think psychologically that isn't the best way to deal with it. But I think we all deal with bullying and hate and like just bad times in our own way, and you've got to find your own way of dealing with it. You've got to try so many things. I tried confronting the bullies, the haters, and it I don't feel like that was for me. It just brought on more hate, more bullying. I'm fairly sure that if I continued with that, it would have stopped eventually. But it just brought on more stress and more hassle than when I left it alone. And it is true, if you ignore haters, they get bored. Bullies get bored so easily. They just find the next person to bully. I guess that's not the best idea in a selfless sense, because they're moving on to someone else, and that then someone else has to deal with it. But I think that's just part of life. And my number one lesson in life that I've learned is always look after number one first, and that's yourself. Make sure you're okay, because if you're not okay, how are you supposed to look after anyone else? So even from a selfless point of view, you've always got to look after number one. So that's what I do. I ignore it. If I get someone say something really nasty, sometimes it does hit a sore point. If it's say for example my writing, my books. I put my books out there. Obviously some people didn't like them, and it wasn't nice reading nasty comments about them. And the ones that hurt the most were the ones that's true. Them saying it was badly edited. It probably wasn't badly edited, but in my critical mind, I don't think it was edited to the best standard. That was because of how much it actually costs to do it professionally, and the amount of hours I tried to go through it myself, and my wife helped me and things. But I think it was acceptable in the end. But some of the hating that gets to me, or gets to me the most, is the things that are probably true. And but that's also a form of constructive criticism. It's not done in the best way, but you can turn that and go, well, that's affected me a lot. Is there anything I can do about it? Do I need to change it? And I've found that anything that does affect me in terms of what people say nastily, then there is something that I can do about it. I used to get bullied a lot on my nose. I've broken it through football like probably 7 or 8 times. It's barely functional anymore. I can't breathe out of but I can barely breathe out of it. There's not much air going up there. But there's something I can do about it. I can go have surgery, but I don't feel like I should. I think my wife loves me for who I am, and says that I'm a good-looking guy. I might not believe half the time, but that's the one thing that matters. You know, people saying that I've got a bump in my nose doesn't affect me. It might be true, well, it is true. I have got a bump in my nose, but that's how I deal with it. I just ignore it. If it doesn't have any relevance to me, if it doesn't mean anything, then I just block them, and I just let them move on. And I move on myself. Don't spend time thinking about it. Obviously, sometimes it is hard. but so's life, you know. And you just gotta, though I have a little tactic of, if there's any stress in my life, I give myself 5 minutes to think about it, to analyze it, to come up with answers, and like as to why I'm getting stressed out about it, and as to what I can do about it. But as soon as those 5 minutes, I physically time myself my phone. As soon as those 5 minutes are over, that's it. I can't think about it anymore, because I'm not going to solve anything by thinking about it. I'm only going to drag myself down more. And then when the time comes, then I have my answers prepared. So that's how I deal with it. Let me know how you deal with it, and if you have any problems right now. Obviously, I don't feel like I'm the best person to give advice on anything really. But if you value at all any opinions I have, then hit me up with some questions and I'll get back to you as usual.